Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks so much for joining me today. We're going to get crafty and we're going to make some patriotic themed cards. So let's jump right in and let's celebrate the red, white, and blue. I'm going to go ahead and I've got my hot pink ink machine here and we're going to turn it on number 3. I've already turned the black switch in the back on. So we'll turn it to number 3 and let it get heated up. We're going to do some foiling for these cards. For our first card, we're going to be using the May mug stamp and die. And the May mug is this cute mug that has a flag on it. We're going to be using the sentiment that came in that stamp set. It says, "You put a spark in my life," or was that my coffee? I think that's cute. I've already got some other pieces. We're going to be using a little strip of blue glitter paper. I've cut out from our stop sign red cardstock. I've cut out the scalloped rectangle, the largest one. Fits nicely on an A2 card. And we're going to foil this panel with the fireworks. This is from our Happy 4th foilable kit. So let's go ahead and get this panel foiled. First thing we do before we foil is we dust off with a soft brush or microfiber cloth. We're going to dust off our foilable and we're going to dust off the back of our foil just to make sure we don't want any dust or debris or pet hairs to interfere with the foil adhering to that toner printed design. Our ink machine is already hot and ready to go. So we're going to put the foilable in the transfer folder first, the design facing up, and then we're going to put the foil on top of it with the pretty side of the foil facing up. I'm just going to check the back and make sure we have everything covered. We're always going to run the transfer folder through the ink machine with the folded side of the transfer folder going in first. You don't want any of these loose ends going in first. They might catch on the rollers and get caught and crinkle up. We don't want to do that. So everything looks good. I like to run my foilables through with the short side up at the folded end, so it goes through like longer this way, rather than putting it the other way where it's longer against the folded side. If you imagine surface area and how it's running through the rollers, this way as it's going through, it has a shorter surface area that it has to heat up at a time. I just find that works really well. So let's put this through the ink machine. You want it straight. You want it even in the opening there, and you slide it in until the machine catches it and let the machine take it through. I like to support it with my hand underneath to keep it nice and straight and even. You want to take your time when you're putting your transfer folder into your machine. You don't want to rush it. You just carefully put it straight and even right in the middle and let the machine take it. If you're feeling rushed and you're forcing it in, you might cause the folder to get caught in the rollers or something like that. But it's very simple and easy. It's going to be hot when you take it out of the back of the machine, but we want it to completely cool off before we do what I call the fun peel and reveal. So we're going to let these two pieces stay together, the foilable and the foil, until they're cool to the touch. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and glue down my scalloped rectangle piece. I am using a slightly new formula for our Easy Squeeze craft glue. I'm really excited, and hopefully we will be bringing our Easy Squeeze craft glue back really soon. You know, I have to put it through the ringer and test it out and make sure everything is good before we release it to you guys. Okay, so now let's do that peel and reveal. This is my favorite part. We're just going to peel that foil away. And we have a beautiful foiled fireworks panel. Never throw away this piece here. It has that fireworks design in it, and you can foil it onto a solid toner sheet. Always use your negative foil. The foil I used for the fireworks is our Circles Gold. It looks like a lot of little circles, little sequins on there. It's really pretty, and I thought it would be nice because it highlights a little bit of some different colors along with the gold. So now we can adhere our foiled panel down. I like with the liquid glue, you have just a few seconds to shimmy your piece into place before it starts to dry and adhere. Next we're going to add, I have about a 1-inch strip of our stop sign cardstock and a 3/4 inch strip of our blue glitter paper that's from one of our glitter paper packs. I love mixing foil and glitter. You just never can have too much sparkle and shine. They really do complement each other well. There is our card so far. Love that sparkle of that foil and the glitter paper. So pretty. So I'm just going to play around with placement now. I've got our sentiment and our mug. I've just added some of our foam tape adhesive to the back of the mug and the sentiment just to pop them up off the card for a little dimension. Sentiment up here at the top, right up here. And here is our first finished card. So fun, so simple and easy to put together, but that foil really adds that wow factor. For our next few cards, we're going to be using our American Eagle stamps and dies, along with some other dies. I've got some more glitter paper here. The silver glitter paper is really pretty, and the glitter doesn't flake off. I've die cut it with our zigzag circle die. I really like using that die a lot. That's a nice feature spot for your character on your card. I've got a couple more foilable pieces from the Happy 4th foilable kit. We've got some stars and stripes. So we're going to foil those. Dust them off a little bit first. I'll dust off the backs of the foils. So I've got my transfer folder. I'll do the striped piece first, and we're going to do that in our new cherry red cheer foil. Turn it over and make sure it's all covered. And then for our stars, we're going to use our sparkle blue. It's a beautiful blue with lots of glitzy glitter pattern in there with also some stars scattered throughout. So really pretty foil. So again, once it comes out of the ink machine, it's going to be hot. I'm going to pull both pieces and set them down and let them cool. And while they cool, we're going to foil our stars. Foilable in the transfer folder. Foil goes pretty side up. And right into the ink machine. All right, we'll let the blue stars cool off and we'll peel and reveal our cherry red stripe piece. Oh, so pretty. Look at that, gorgeous. So you can do this type of foiling with a heat laminator. I recommend the Mink machine. I like to say the Mink machine is like what you might say the gold standard for toner foiling. It's been around for years and it's a good machine, gets up to the correct temperatures with the correct pressure of the rollers inside there. That's why we went with the Mink machine when we wanted to come out with a foiling machine. I just wanted to get something that I knew would be a good foiling machine. All right, let's peel and reveal our sparkle blue stars. Again, keep your negative foil. Look at that star pattern. You could foil this onto a solid toner sheet and have a beautiful star pattern on another sheet to use for another card. So we're ready to start to assemble our card. All our cards that we're making here today are A2 size cards. They're some of our pre-scored, pre-folded card bases. So they're nice 110-pound heavyweight card bases. This funny looking piece here, I've cut from our zigzag rectangle dies, and I just took a smaller one and I cut out the center. Since I'm going to cover it up with our foilable panel, I didn't need to have this whole piece be on the card. I just needed the outer part that was going to show. And I wanted another red piece for another card, which we'll do later. So you'll see where this inner piece went. But that's a good way to use your cardstock and not have any waste, is to die cut from the center of your piece if you're going to cover it up. So we'll glue that down, and then we'll adhere our stars, but not quite yet. First, I want to add the red stripes onto the bottom, and we're going to add some twine to this card. When adhering the foilables, you just need a thin line of glue, not much at all. You don't want to be heavy-handed with the glue when you're gluing the foilables. Okay, so there's our foiled panel. Oh, I love that. Look at that. And now we're going to add some twine. This is some of our new twine that we've introduced recently. And I've got the stop sign, I've got middle school, and I have sidewalk. So I have 3 colors of twine, and then I have cut 2 pieces of each. And I made them a little bit wider than my card because I'm going to adhere it around the back of my panel. To adhere it around the back, I'm going to use some tape runner. You could also use some of our double-sided adhesive tape. I just find things like ribbon and twine they'll stick with the liquid glue, but it's a lot quicker, and I'm trying to be a little quicker here, to just stick them to some dry adhesive around the back. You don't have to wait for the liquid adhesive to dry. So we'll just wrap these around the back. I love the extra texture that twine and ribbon add to cards, so they're not just all paper, just something a little more special added on. So now we can adhere our foiled panel down to the card front. I want to make sure I add some adhesive to that twine so it gets glued down well. All right, and here is our card front so far. That's looking really good. I like that. Next, I want to add our zigzag circle in that glitter paper, but I like to have it going off the side of the card rather than being like right in the center. I just think it adds more interest to your eye. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut a little side of that circle off there. And now we can glue this down to the card. And here's our card so far with that zigzag circle. Look at all that sparkle and shine. I think if we added any more glitz to this card, it would be illegal. I'm joking. Okay, so now we're going to add our eagle and our sentiment. I've just stamped the sentiment 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue, and I've just cut it out with that little flag end at the end there, and I'm going to add that at the bottom of my zigzag circle, and I'm going to have my little eagle flying right there in the center. And my eagle has some little stars and striped balloons, really cute, goes along with the stars and stripes that is in our background. So I'll glue the sentiment first. There we go, and I've added some of our foam tape again to the back of the eagle, just so it pops off the card a little for some dimension. But because we're adhering the foam tape to glitter paper, which has some texture, I'm going to add a little extra glue to the foam tape, just so that glue can grab on to the texture of the glitter paper. There we go, loving that. And the last thing we're going to do is just add a little bit more twine. I want to tie a knot. And I'm going to tie a knot over on this side, so I'm going to take my extra pieces of twine. Again, I've got 2 of each color. I'm just going to take it underneath. I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto the spot where I'm going to tie the knot. just so it will adhere right there and hold, and it will stay put without any trouble. And I'm just going to tie one simple knot. I'll tie it right over that adhesive, and it's going to stay put for us. And press it down. All we need to do is cut the extra off the ends. There we go. And what I like to do is just take the ends of the twine and just fluff them a little bit, just so they spread out and don't look too stiff. And there we go. I love that. And with all the sparkle and shine of the foil and the glitter paper, then we have that nice balance of some added texture with the twine. Very nice. For our next card, we've got one of our little American Eagles. Looks like Uncle Sam there with his hat. I've stamped Happy 4th of July and just cut that little flag in there. And this time we're going to foil this little heart that looks like a flag with stars and stripes on it. This is also from the Happy 4th foilable kit. I just cut this heart out with my scissors. Just fussy cut it. And we're going to foil it with that sparkle blue foil. While that goes through the machine, I'll go through our other layers here. I have a large piece of the blue glitter paper that's going to be the background of the card. Slightly smaller than that, with our layered rectangle dies, I cut a piece of plaid. This is from our Year-Round Plaids Set 2 paper pad. So it's a really great paper pad with some different plaids for different occasions, and it's got some red, white, and blue plaids. And I thought they would be perfect for these patriotic cards. And here's a piece of the stop sign red cardstock that we cut out from the center of the other piece on the other card. So while our foiled piece cools down, I'm going to go ahead and adhere these pieces together and put them on the card front. Here's our card base so far. Now, let's see what our foiled heart looks like. Oh yes, look at that. And you can use this on a solid toner sheet. Oh, it came out gorgeous. Let's adhere this down. And then we're going to add our little Uncle Sam Eagle. I've added some foam tape for dimension to the back of him. find our Happy 4th sentiment. Just going to glue that down as well. Sweet and simple card. There we go. That foiled piece just gives it that wow. I love that plaid in the background. A little bit of glitter paper showing through. Very nice. All right, we're down to our last card. We're going to foil one more piece here. This is from that Happy 4th foilable kit. It's got the United States with all kinds of hearts and stars and dots creating the shape there. I'm just going to dust it off. Add it to our transfer folder. This time, we're using one of my favorite golds. This is Glitzy Gold. And Glitzy Gold gets its name just because of it looks like what it sounds like. It's just glitzy. It looks like it has tiny little sparkly glittery particles on it. While that goes through, I've got our A2 card base, and I've cut this plaid piece from that year-round plaid set 2 paper pad. I've cut it just slightly smaller than the A2 size, so you have a slight white border going around it. Let's glue that down to the card base. I'll grab our foiled piece. I'll go ahead and flip our ink machine off since we're done with our foiling. This time we're using the American Eagle that's holding the flag. It's cute. And I've got the sentiment, Land of the Free because of the brave. All right, so let's get our foiled piece. Peel and reveal. Love it. It came out gorgeous. Oh, I love that glitzy gold. So I have a couple of strips of blue glitter paper, and I have a couple of strips of our stop sign cardstock, and I've used our scallops dies to just cut a scalloped edge on one side, and we're going to put this behind our foiled piece just to give it a little scalloped border. So I'm just going to run a little glue across the top and the bottom, but I'll just do one side at a time so I can get it just where I want it. And that liquid glue gives me just enough time so I can kind of slide the piece into place. There, so now we have a little border at the top and bottom, little scallops. I'm going to do the same thing and add the blue glitter paper to the top and bottom. And now we can adhere this to the card front. Here's our card so far. This is a great card just as it is. Add a little sentiment, but we're going to put our eagle on there. Again, he has foam tape for dimension. Going to add him over here, and then our sentiment. And there is our fourth and final card for today. Here's the other one. And the first two that we did. All super simple and easy to create and put together, but have that extra wow factor from the foil and the glitter paper. Thanks so much again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these cards we created with the patriotic theme. You can find all these items and more at pinkandmane.com or ask your local retailer. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.